think that we'll definitely see some Terran later on.
Fingers crossed. You know, True is pretty good as well.
Drew is very good too. Yeah, hopefully.
We'll see, mate. We'll see. As we are back, we have a series, and we are diving into game number 1.
One indeed. And spawning in the top right position, he is number 1 of 2 players in this game. It is the young North American Protoss playing for Root Gaming. It is TriGGeR.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, I was afraid we were gonna have to remake. But in the bottom left, we have the Korean Protoss player himself. He just took down the man from Hong Kong. It is Chance.
So it looks like, I guess, North America versus Korea. Is it West for all 3 games, like, unless otherwise agreed upon?
Yep. Should be West for all 3 games.
Awesome. Don't have to take my blocker off.
I forgot about Chase.
Your central blocker.
Chase, you don't even ladder. Why do you have that on? You don't even ladder.
I don't. Well, when I do ladder, I don't want to be playing 300 ping. Okay.
Shaking my head. Dude.
My teams, but PvP. I've done the calculations. Normally, 2 gate openers is what we normally see. I've combined the knowledge of every 2 units that can start once the Cybercore finishes, and there's at least 3 different combinations.
Right. At least 3, maybe even more.
At least 3. Possible, I think there's at least 3. Like, all I know is it's not less than 3.
Exactly. And talking about the game a little bit here, this is where I need to start letting people in on a couple of things, right? TriGGeR, he is kind of the American Max Packs in the way. He's a very young player, very up and coming player. Last year was the first year that he was a part of the DreamHack EPT circuit. And he has been the rising star. And similarly to Max Packs, more often than not, he will open up just like this. Even if a map doesn't have a ramp, he will go for that low ground expand, or low ground wall, I should say.
Yeah, pretty cool, and it kind of choreographs exactly like what's on his mind. He wants to take that natural expansion. There we go, dropping down now. Meanwhile, Chance is kind of going for a bit more of a passive. He's going for the low ground pylon, which does kind of choreograph. He wants his own expansion, but he's a little bit safer on that front. Chance's probe actually getting in. Not going to see too much. There's not really much to see at this point, really. But Chance going for a Stargate before Nexus here. So this is where we see our first main deviation.
Yeah, and even though Chance's probe didn't see much, I mean, that's a little bit telling, right? That goes to show that TriGGeR wasn't trying to fake out and, actually pretend like he was going for an expansion and actually throw down tech instead. He confirmed that there was nothing really going on in the main base, and TriGGeR was just getting a Nexus up and running.
Yeah, and also confirmed, he saw 3 pylons at this stage of the game, and normally, if you go for that, you can proxy with like 3 pylons. Normally you send out your 3rd pylon to proxy, especially when you don't see a Nexus yet. But at least it does have that information, and you can kind of scatter around if he wants to. But it looks like he feels pretty comfortable just going to an Oracle, maybe try and get some damage done. Meanwhile, we have Blink coming for TriGGeR.
Yeah, exactly. So TriGGeR, again, playing this very, very stock standard. It's just survive, defend long enough until you can hit your Blink and get into your Stalkers. Meanwhile, the Adept will sneak in a little bit here. Does commit to the Shade, but it looks like it will be cleaned up. Oh, yeah,
it does get cleaned up there. And fortunately, he did manage to confirm the Nexus, so all kind of fears of anything wacky going, fully quelled, I think that's the word. But he has also confirmed there are 3 Stalkers, and actually chances come in regardless, maybe hoping the Stalker's out of position and goes down a Revelation. So deflected pretty reasonably there, lad, and nothing major kind of happening so far.
Yeah. So far, everything is looking pretty standard from our players. Chance is actually getting a 2nd Oracle, actually. So again, he really wants to get some damage done. So hopefully he's able to keep his 1st Oracle alive long enough to meet up with the 2nd one. And then he can finally start getting some worker kills. Yeah,
that's right. The 2nd Oracle. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. I guess when you see this many Stalkers, 2 base openings, there's always more openings to get damage on compared to 1 base openings. But actually, Chance is going to scout this pylon by chance. And This is this could be a little bit risky for TriGGeR though, but no, the pile's gonna get sniped and he wants to be aggressive like, but yeah, that was his forward kind of location, right?
Yeah, it was his reinforcement point, right? That's where he kind of wanted to catapult off of, but unfortunately that was cleaned up. TriGGeR, he does show up to try and clean up any kind of stray units, and he's blinking across the map. He is still going regardless, despite not having a pylon to warp in. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this Oracle's going to the main as well. They should be able to almost one-shot these probes, so the shield battery won't be as effective. No, he's just going to back out. And looks like TriGGeR just jumping straight in, getting one Stalker. Two Stalkers and backing up with the shield battery. Holding on for the most part.
Yeah, he does have enough to two-shot those Stalkers, and he will get 3 Stalkers in the end. At the same time, Oracles finally dive in, and they get an insane amount of damage done. 5 probes get picked off, but TriGGeR does have that third.
Yeah, that's right. He does have the third base. We see both players going to Robos now, looking to kind of stretch this game out. But the thing is, the fact that Chance went these 2 highly kind of maneuverable, very flexible harass units in Oracles, and he managed to hold on against these Stalkers, because the first wave, right, is the biggest kind of chance you have to take control with these Blink Stalker attacks. I'm feeling pretty good here for Chance, as not only has he take out these 5 workers, but even though he's got a delayed third base, he's got a lot more flexible options in his hands.
He really does. He just has so much more to work with. So now it's on Chance to try and equalize, right? That's why it was so important for Chance to actually get that damage done, to actually get those probe kills earlier, and maybe even get more here to try and catch up, because we can see as the game goes on longer, like TriGGeR, that drone lead is getting larger and larger.
Yeah, that's right. The Stalkers now coming across the map for Chance. Gonna chill out. We have an Observer each, so no player looking to do some super wacky, crazy, like, warp-ins kind of aggression. But as you said, with this third base now fully saturated and Chance is not even finished yet, even though he's got these Oracles that are just building up energy to harass, TriGGeR's gonna get ahead in uncommonly here.
Yeah, he really is. Meanwhile, nice snipe on that one Stalker. He confirms the position of the main army. We do see more Stalkers being warped in on the front lines, but there isn't that much here at the natural to defend. All the Stalkers, okay, never mind. I was like, all the Stalkers are going to be pulled forward, but no, at least some of them are kept in the natural.
Yeah, he is keeping these a couple Stalkers back at least with these Oracles. Did actually go for a recall. He did send them back home somewhere. Meanwhile, it looks like he wants to kind of harass at the third base to kind of force a reaction from TriGGeR, and then just shade 2 Adepts into the natural middle line. Those 2 Stalkers are still there.
I love it. He's going to go for I was going to say he's going to go for a tri-pronged attack, but no, the Oracle's actually here to support the main army. Throw down some stasis traps.
Oh, and here we go. The Adepts do come in. Stasis trap getting a couple of units, but the Immortal will repel the Stalkers for the main part. 3 workers going down. Even a cannon here at the natural light to kind of stop the damage from flowing. And I think now the TriGGeR's looking in quite a phenomenal spot as he moves out. Yeah, with his War Prism.
He deflects beautifully. The stasis traps don't really do anything. Oh no, the War Prism! No, it's gonna get sniped!
Oh no, it does get sniped. But meanwhile, TriGGeR gets forward with his own Stalkers. He's got a couple of really good, attacks here with this blink, and he's gonna hunt these Stalkers down. Like, meanwhile, there's not many gateways back at home. There's no Immortals here for our South Korean Protoss, and he's under some trouble.
Yeah, exactly. He's only got a handful of gateway units here. Is it going to be enough? There is only 1 Immortal from TriGGeR, so he doesn't have the most massive robo lead, but it doesn't even matter. He just pounces on everything. At the same time, chances across the map with those 2 Oracles. Mate, those 2 Oracles, they're not going to get much done. There's a cannon at home. There's a shield battery.
Yeah, there's cannons and shield batteries. This really diminishes, the potential of the Oracle. And meanwhile, these Oracles aren't really helping out back at home. There's no shield batteries. These probes are being forced to come off the line and attack, and there's a decent arc for Chance, but he's getting attacked from behind. And there's only so much you can blink when there's overwhelming odds, and I think this is the end, right?
Yeah, exactly. TriGGeR, he just warps in at home and he just moves he just walks everything across the map. Doesn't even matter. Didn't even need the Warp Prism in the end or the reinforcing pylon. He does rebuild the Warp Prism. He's trying to show up. Oh, actually, Chance, it looked like he was trying to maybe intercept, but mate, he just doesn't have enough. He just doesn't have the numbers.
Yeah, that's right. We do have an Immortal slap kind of pop for Chance soon, but it's isolated from this main army, and it's going to get through a couple of charge lots first. There's only 4 Stalkers on the ground now, 3, and Chance is going to tap out. TriGGeR will take the first game in our series. And man, what a game.
GG. Chance, he's not having the easiest run here. He's meeting a lot of resistance in his opponents first with Go Joey, now here with TriGGeR. TriGGeR only needs one more. And I think what I'm most impressed by is that TriGGeR didn't really do anything too fancy. If anything, the fancy things that he was trying to do were kind of getting stopped. It was just solid PvP.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of fundamentals, probes and pylons, wasn't it? There was he did end up he was the aggressor with these blink stalkers there, but he wasn't all in. You know, he had the third base coming up behind. He had the army advantage, and he took advantage of that by getting the faster third base, maybe slowing and delaying Chance's own third, and just with that economic advantage, he just set up well for the mid game and deflected the attacks and the harass very well.
Yeah, it was very impressive. Very impressive.
Oh,
indeed.
You might have the lobby bug again.
It looks like I do. So could you ask the players to wait a moment while I do attempt to restart my client and get it back up and running?
Alright, I'll throw up a Discord stream. Here we go. Can you see everything okay?
Yeah. It's like it's not ideal, but you know, it's okay.
Stream. Here we go. Oh man, look, I get to show off my my observing chops. Screw, eat your heart out.
Oh.
But yes, chance vs TriGGeR. This is like when your mum doesn't come back, and you end up. I don't know. You find money somewhere. But here we go. Spawning. Oh wait, I can't press 3 because light's not here. Yeah. Spawning in the top left position. We apologize for the issues, team.
Hold on. Can you do me a favor? Can you turn off your camera?
Oh, my camera. Yo. Done.
Let's see if that helps.
Are we good? Sorry, it was a bad stream quality.
I'm trying to come up with a solution, okay?
It's okay. It's okay. We got this. Spawning. The top left position. I'll try not to move at all. Make it really slow movement. Keep a good bit rate. But here we go. Here's your North American Pro Loss. Game number 1. It is playing for Root Gaming, TriGGeR. And in the bottom right position, we have Light. He has reached the grand finals before, playing for himself. That is the South Korean Protoss. It is Chance. But yeah, wonderful. Here we go. Again, we have Chance. You know, this map, compared to our last map, 2000 Atmospheres, it is easy to wall the low ground. You see there's a tighter ramp, so it's a bit easier to hold for our Protoss players. So that's probably why you see both players going for this low ground wall. Would you say we're more likely to see a 2-base kind of opener from these players, Lad? I don't think it's more likely to be a proxy or something to take advantage of that.
Well, I mean, we have our answer, mate. We have our answer. And oh my god, is this going to be a Stargate? I'm really curious to see what this is going to be, especially because, like, depending on if it is going to be a proxy Void Ray kind of, like, way to punish this early natural, this is something that isn't really going to be a thing in the next patch either. He's doing it! Let's go!
Stargate versus a regular Stargate Light. Yeah, this is something TriGGeR's throwing out all the tricks in the book, and even though Chance is scouting for it, is he going to be able to see it? He will eventually, but Chance is going to see it right now, actually. And here we go. Chrono boosting out a Stalker, getting his own shield battery, so yeah, full wall off there.
Yeah, exactly. We do see a full wall off in the end, but that doesn't even matter because we have that Stargate on the way. We have Void Rays on the way as well. Shield batteries being thrown down. This is what I was talking about, how this is kind of going to be affected by the next patch because shield batteries are going to be starting with less energy, but not here. But he's getting on top of 2 of them.
Yeah, here we go. They're really good actually for Chance getting both of those shield batteries down and even take up a little bit of shield battery energy from this probe. So that's kind of smart too. But with the Stalker out now, looks like this pressure is going to be limited very soon. And TriGGeR's going for a Void Ray. But meanwhile, we don't see anything. Yep, just starting now. Supply block Void Ray for Chance.
Oh, yeah, it's on the way. But as you said, the supply block is not going to be helping him at all. The shield batteries are finished up. The first Void Ray does come out. And now TriGGeR has control of the low ground. That's better.
Is it much better?
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't. Unfortunately, you don't have the WCS overlay, so it's
Yeah,
not.
true. My apologies.
Yeah, it's not that amazing. It doesn't really fit the
We can't
overlays,
see
but
the mini
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
we can't see the mini map, but yeah, we see coming in now, and the Void Ray now coming for Chance to push this back. His own Void Ray. There's a lot of shield batteries. Can he get it? The second appears. Looks like no, not quite. And TriGGeR might just snowball here, light as a third Void Ray is soon to be on the cards for sure.
Jesus Christ! Exactly, TriGGeR. He's pushing on forward. He waited like 20 minutes to get into this game, and he wants to end it, mate. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's right for sure. And actually, if he takes out that Stalker, I mean that Gateway, sorry, he's gonna just half the reinforcement ability from Chance. There we go. And there's so many shield batteries light. It's just crazy. This Void Ray, if he loses it, oh man,
Oh, no.
so much going on.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like one of the Void Rays is going to get picked off, actually, in the end. The DPS was just a little bit too high for all these shield batteries. A second gets picked off as well. Chance, he is pushing all of this back.
Yeah, and he is. Chances actually, there's a lot of shield batteries. A Void Ray now coming too, but when you take out the first two, Void Rays in a push such as this, that's such a big advantage that you kind of lose. So
Yeah.
TriGGeR could be in a bit of trouble here, but again, that's so many shield batteries.
Oh,
With almost
God.
out of energy.
Yeah, almost. It looks. It's kind of hard to call, especially without like there's like as you said, the Void Rays. Losing two Void Rays like that is huge. There's gonna be a second one, but I don't know if TriGGeR is gonna have enough momentum. All these shield batteries are out of energy.
Yeah, and there you go. And oh, actually sniping down that Void Ray there. And keep in mind, Chance's only on, is it 2 gateways? No, he's only getting a second gateway now. He's only on 1 gateway here. So this is actually looking really tough. It could go back and forth either way. Like,
Hmm. Oh my
but
god.
there's so many shield batteries for Chance as well.
Oh god, there is. Oh, the Cyber Core is a little bit exposed, so maybe he can get that, and then that's going to be the end of all these Stalker reinforcements, but the Void Rays are still on the way. The shield battery is trying to just barely, desperately keep the Cyber Core alive, and it survives a little bit longer, but not for too long.
Yeah, it's going to get taken out. One last Stalker warp in before these these Stalkers get on top of it. If Chance loses this Void Ray, all that, it looks like TriGGeR might just have the advantage. And he's going to push up the ramp now with these 2 Void Rays, and I think he might just be able to overpower this, force of Chance.
Yeah, I mean, Chance almost held on. Like, massive shout out to Chance and what he was able to accomplish. But it looks like there just may be too much momentum now for TriGGeR. He's trying desperately to rebuild and remake that Cyber Core. But, God, up.
Oh.
Where are you taking us, Shane? Where are you taking us?
Sorry, Gateway. But okay. Yeah, I think it could just be too much, and we see, TriGGeR. Even though he's lost a couple Void Rays, he's just it's looking much more kind of comfortable. Sorry, I'm gonna bring this up so I can get a view of the map. But yeah, no, it looks like this is just the end. Chance, he is fighting really hard, but he's got the Cyber Core back, but he's still only on 1 gateway, and yeah, it looks like. Oh, actually, yeah, no, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, exactly. There's just too much. The Stalkers, they just push up into the natural base. They have enough to 2-shot whatever Chance has. GG gets called, and TriGGeR does it. TriGGeR takes the 2-0 win.
Oh, there we go. I probably pressed the score screen too quickly there, but yes, TriGGeR will take the 2-0 with Chance. Not fully probably had that. I wonder if he was planning that out from the start, or if it was just, had a time to think about it the previous game when he went into that series. But yeah. How are you now, Light? Are you back?
I'm trying. I am trying. But yes, congratulations to TriGGeR for winning that PvP. Again, it's one of those things where when I think of TriGGeR, I think of like a PvP specialist, to be honest. So, oh god, Chance had kind of a rough road ahead of him, having to face someone like TriGGeR. But yeah, wow, GG.
And with that, we have our 4 semi-finalists for today. We've got Keen managed to take the 2-0 over True. We got Bystalk taking the 2-1 over Demi. So that will be our upper bracket semi-final. And on the lower side of the bracket, Art takes the 2-1 over Mio Micah. And then TriGGeR with the 2-0 over Chance. So looks like we're going to have a TVP and a PvP. So 3 Protoss in the top 4. And yeah.
Yeah. I mean, congratulations to Keen for 2-0ing True. It's a bit of a shame that we didn't get to see it, but very, very impressive indeed. So massive shout out to Keen there, and to Art as well. It's a bit of a shame that we didn't get to cast Art versus Mio Micah. It's cool that they went all the way to the ace match, but yeah, unfortunately we didn't get to see it. And oh, we have our semi-finalists, a pretty fresh semi-finals to be honest. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, a lot of shaking up going on. I think it's the first time we see Keen and TriGGeR, first time we see them full stop. And
Yeah,
Bystalk as well. I don't think he's made the semi-finals before. He's been eked out in the third round quite a few times. And Art, it's kind of the old guard who's got a. Even though I don't believe he won last week. Did he? Like, who was the winner last week?
True one, didn't he?
True. Yes, True did. Yes, I remember because we rated him and he was looking at food. But yeah, he's got a point to prove. Being one of the guard dogs of this tournament. So interesting to see how the dynamics will emerge here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. So we are going to get ready for our semifinals. Because of all these technical issues, we are going to be going on a bit of a break. So I do apologize. Again, I apologize for all the technical issues that we've had tonight. Bit of a feels bad, man. But StarCraft just isn't working for me. I cannot log in. And even if I do log in, I cannot get into any lobby or load in any maps. None of the map information is loading for me. So it's one of those things where to fix it, I probably have to just restart my PC. But yeah. Instead, Kuro is going to be taking over, and she's going to be streaming and observing from her POV. But yeah. To set all of that up, we're going to go on a break, and then after that, we're going to have both of our semifinals and then our grand finals.
Stick around.
We'll be back.
Yeah.